Yo, what's going on everybody? It's me, John Astrolite. I hope you enjoyed that snippet of the new Port Vesper location that I have planned for Astrolite's alpha release. It still needs some love, but as previously shown, all the footage you saw was recorded on Roblox, which in my opinion is awesome. The footage you're seeing playing in the background is some testing me and Bloomin did of the new grid-based replication, which basically fixes a long-standing floating point error present in the Roblox engine natively. This looks something like this when you try to travel farther than like 10,000 studs from the origin. If you're getting bored of this commentary, feel free to just look here in this window and you'll see the simulated distance that we do end up traveling, and safe to say this is going to lead to some really cool long distance and immersive traveling. Anyways, the edit you just saw debuted a few things I'm really excited about, which are planned for Astrolite's alpha release, including the semi-modular space station POIs, which makes creating these stations like Vespera so much easier for me. The station as a whole doesn't use more than like 20 unique textures to look this good, which not only is going to save performance, but saves time for me too. Some other cool stuff that was shown is the high resolution planets, the new high resolution ship shaders, and some new VFX for the ships, basically just the thrusters. With that said, I think it's important that I also mention what I have planned for alpha phase of this game, and it's a lot. To start, in addition to the visual overhaul that Astrolite's getting, I'm really just planning to add a ton of new features that are going to make the gameplay loop unrecognizable from the demo that some of you may be familiar with. Players are going to be able to travel through a completely handcrafted star system, which will hopefully be one of many to this game. Not only that, but players are going to be able to collect rare ships, customization items such as modules, shaders, and players can even spec into professions, which are basically jobs that lead to different sub-gameplay loops, which are going to be super fun. There's going to be at least 5 of these professions, which are very unique, and I'm really excited to debut. The world is also going to contain a variety of hostile and friendly AIs that will interact with you and a lot of the setting that is present. The final feature I'm really excited to have for alpha is hopefully some form of the player forward operating bases, which are essentially going to be space stations that you're going to be able to construct and deploy at many different locations throughout the system. This really just hardly scratches the surface of all the stuff we have planned, but finally I'd like to address the inconsistent nature of this game's development. Firstly, it's important to note that I'm a full-time college student going into my senior year. I'm studying 3D animation, so aside from schoolwork, I also have to keep up with portfolio projects to make hiring me not bad, and frankly these things take up a ton of my time. My partner, Bloomin, also works at a prominent game studio, so we can hardly spare much brain power for this project as it is. So safe to say, development and even coding for Astrolite remains a big challenge. While I continue to put my time and effort into this project, the best way you can show support for me is by liking the video and joining the Discord community where I post all of the update content for this game. I'll link that in the description below if you're interested. And that brings me to the end of the update portion of this video, so if that's all you're interested in, feel free to click off, but the rest of this video I want to dedicate to the monumental journey that has been developing this indie project from the very beginning. Astrolite was originally the brainchild of me and my friend back in 2018, where we wanted to take Battlefield/Phantom Forces game loop and transfer it into a high-octane space fighter game. Instead of unlocking cool guns and attachments, you'd be unlocking cool ships and weapons to go on those ships, along with a lot of other things that we thought were really cool. Unfortunately, our qualifications were that my friend was good at math and could make functional code, while I could build, although somewhat questionably, I could indeed build ships and structures using the Roblox part system. Things were going great until real life hit for my friend, as life usually does, and I became the sole developer of Astrolite. And did I say things were going great? I meant things were barely functional and super laggy, if I'm being real. Anyways, I began attempting to finish coding and adding visual assets at this point until I eventually realized that the game loop was shoddy at best, and I wanted to make an open world game that I could call my own that not only was functional but had some resemblance of optimization. One small problem is that I make very questionable code, and I did not know how to optimize anything to save my life. A few years and mistakes later, I added my good friend Bloomin to the project to help code, and we began working on what is known as the Astrolite demo. This process took a while, mostly because we were both figuring out how to actually become decent developers through various side projects. And frankly, we had no idea just how intense the planning and execution can be for a relatively ambitious game like Astrolite. Eventually, after some amazingly fun playtests with our amazing community, we released the demo of Astrolite, and I gotta be real, this was one of the best experiences of my development career. It was just so much fun watching everyone play around and enjoy the content that we were able to release and have it work in a somewhat functional and not super laggy way. Working towards alpha release has been an extremely time-consuming and intense process, as we have needed to completely overhaul literally everything. Not only the models, textures, animations, VFX, scripting, coding, pretty much the entire code base needed a complete rework. And not to mention the copious amounts of features and planning and UI, all this stuff it's a lot. So I know everyone's been extremely patient, and I just want to really thank everybody who has supported and kept up with me as I worked on this project. Astrolite has truly been one of my biggest passions in my life so far, and I'm excited to keep bringing hopefully awesome updates leading up to the alpha release of Astrolite, if it ever happens before GTA 6. And all I ask in return is that you guys stay patient with me as you already have been, and keep me company in the Discord like I said. Thank you guys so much. John Astrolite signing off. Pause right there. Real quick, because I forgot to do so in the original recording. If you want to play some Astrolite before waiting the 20 years it's going to take for Alpha to come out, I, Sinister, am hosting a game night where I will be opening an unreleased demo update for the public. I'll be streaming it for a few hours, and whoever gets the most kills by the end of the stream will be awarded 500 Robux. The stream is on Sunday, January 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see y'all there, and thanks again so much. See ya.